Hello.
Okay, hi.
We have been joined by my co-commentator Simar. Um, so that is good.
Yep, I suddenly noticed I had a Discord notification. And then I found my mic wasn't quite plugged in, so I fixed that.
Mics are...
Oh crap, I need to mute. Okay, hold on. I mute the stream. Sorry, I had the stream playing audio, and that meant that I heard everything you said. Twice. And our mic may have as well. Are you still there?
Yeah. I'm here twice, in fact. Are we doing the countdown here or SRL? This ought to be a nice race. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to be doing the countdown in SRL.
Yeah, countdown in SRL. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Yeah, they have a race room ready.
Okay. Both should be...
Oh, oops. Excuse me.
Seems like we're setting up and we're about to start.
Yeah.
Not too long. Hmm. That's... Seems like... Oh. Okay. It seems like we're about to get underway. Certainly, both racers are now on the the story select screen. Now, there's the hero story right there, but we're ignoring that. That's not important. No one wants to be the good guys, or at least not this month for the Dark Story tournament. Now, what stage are you most excited to see them do? Like, what's your favorite stage to watch in the run there, Simar? Or not?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot push to talk. I was going to say Final Chase or Mad Space because I find those two the hardest.
Those are... Oh, it looks like we are starting, and we have just entered Iron Gate for both racers. Iron Gate is a fairly straightforward stage, just a few hallways, some elevator sections. Now, there is some risky struts you could... kind of risky, not really. Struts you can do. I know they messed me up in my race against Trader, but I feel like this is like the prelude almost. Now, Stellar is just riding the elevator, whereas Moester is messing around at the top. There's no real better or worse way to go about it, just simply optional. Because the elevator does not move faster with or without you on it. So it's acceptable to just wait at the top. Since there's no real benefit or loss to doing it. I did not notice if the racers jumped to the rail section before or after, or jumped to the early. However,
I just saw one did.
just one did. It looks as if Moester is using speed shoes strats, which optimally saves about a second, 1.3 seconds. But totally optional, and you kind of have to manage your rings, but it's not too hard. Still, you're leaving Iron Gate with a time of 2 minutes and 8 seconds. And most are not too far behind with the 2:10. Both pretty respectable times. And Emblem 1 has been achieved. 1 of 14. Hotshot's a pretty straightforward boss. Now,
that wasn't so difficult.
Now you'll see them. Ooh, Moester had to reset.
This is Scorpion and Troops Hotshot. Enemy movement has been detected. En route to intercept and destroy.
Oh, apparently Moester has edited audio. But as you see, they waited for it to raise up a bit before getting the final hit in, because there's a longer animation if they do that. Now, Stellar's waiting for the turtle to go into his spot to go to the other oasis, because Dry Lagoon has 2 sections, the big oasis and the small oasis, and the turtle takes you between them. But while the turtle gets to the water, they go around looking for pieces that would be out in the open, because this is a treasure hunting stage. Whereas the other 2 gameplay styles, you gotta get to the end of the stage, ideally as quickly as possible. In this section, you just gotta find 3 of a given item. Now, circle around the center pillar is a bit of a bad piece. I'm not quite sure what Stellar is attempting. Oh. I've never seen that clip out. That's definitely interesting.
I must have blinked.
Let's see, I didn't catch the time Stellar got on Hotshot, but it seemed as if he, or not Hotshot, on Dry Lagoon, but it seemed as if he lost about 20 seconds. Over his gold's 25, a little more, or over his PP, not his gold. So I don't think it was.
He had
that
111.
Good. Oh, 111? Definitely. Definitely better than Moester, who got a 145. I noticed they got I guess a jail section piece, which is
It's gotta be close.
not ideal most of the time.
I got it! How was that? Perfect? Like me?
Unfortunate death there on the starting jump for Stellar. Twice. On Sand Ocean.
Those idiots
Okay.
will never find my hidden base inside this pyramid. Let's take care of business here first.
Let's... Ooh. That was a slightly bad death for Moester. It'll mess up his cycles. But you can still get a pretty decent time even with that death right there. And just played it safe there. Stellar also played it safe with the third rotating platform. With those you can go early, but in a race setting I can't really blame them for not wanting to risk it and just taking it nice and safe. A 234 for Stellar. A passable time for him. Or never mind. Stellar's saying, nah, he's not, that's not passable for him in chat. But definitely can be a lot rougher than how it went for him.
Yosh!
Go that.
Moester with a nice damage boost through the platform.
Close.
Technically, you don't have to damage boost there to go through it. It can be done without the boost, the damage. I don't often get it. Stellar went to the left side of that ramp going down. When I do it, I typically go to the right, so it's interesting to see those little inconsistencies between owners.
Does it really matter whether you boost through that particular platform or jump on top of it?
Which particular platform?
One Moester damage boosted through.
Here we go.
The platform at the end of Sand Ocean?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, but it's more just occasionally, if you're in the right position, you'll get boosted up to the top of the platform instead of boosted up and damaged. A 158 for Stellar on Radical Highway. Definitely a decent time. A lot better than I've been getting in runs.
I apologize for not talking much. My stream's 30 seconds behind.
Entering... Moester is just wrapping up with Radical Highway, and they're both entering Headquarters. The treasure hunting stage, this one find 3 keys instead of find 3 pieces of the Master Emerald. Now I see Stellar going and breaking some enemies on his way to the pick nails. I would assume hoping to get some free pieces outside of that.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the pieces out of order, you just don't get radar for them.
Too easy.
It seems like having some issues with where this piece is. But just found it. 2 faces? I believe that piece is decent.
This is Rouge. I've located
Oh,
Eggman's base
okay,
and
so
will proceed
Stellar
to
did not
it
take a
now.
death in the green room. If you get a piece in the green room, it is an option to have your character die, to spawn back in the red room with slightly different luck. Potentially, it's a strategy that saves some time,
Especially if you get a bad next piece.
but I'm not sure. But it's less of a thing in real-time attack comparisons, as a real-time attack death I think takes about 8 seconds, whereas it only takes about a second in-game time with the actual dying. A 149 Headquarters. Not terrible. Moester got a 108, and this has gotten a little tighter.
Sounds like it.
Now, their luck and execution of those stages can be a determining factor. But there are only 4 of the 14, so...
How is that? Perfect? Like me?
Central. I guess we should probably mention that this game has a story. They're not just a random assortment of stages, and you get cutscenes between them sometimes, but
You can skip all the cutscenes except for, like,
the in-level
3.
ones.
Control room that Shadow mentioned before he left.
Most infamously, the fake hedgehog one.
There's a lot more than 3.
Okay, I thought there was 1 Eggman, 1 Rouge, and then the Shadow, you're the fake hedgehog, but...
There is a cutscene at the start of Skyrail, there's a cutscene at the start of Headquarters and Security Hall, at least, that aren't skippable.
I guess there's 3 there long enough to annoy me.
I think the Rouge ones are longer than the other ones. Like, they're decently long.
I agree, although I have taken advantage of the... Well, I should say this. It's
Both runners are coming up to the, I'll say the Lost Colony Express. That's not what the That's not what anyone else calls it. That's not what I've called it before. But it's an elevator section, taking around 30 seconds. And since nothing here can hit you, you can just wait. Which Stellar's doing, whereas...
I like to try and shoot down Big, although it's impossible.
Why? Big's a sweetheart. Don't be mean
I
to
just want to
Big.
get a rise out of him.
Big is unflinching. He cares not for this mortal plane.
In other words, he's as oblivious as my cat's in real life.
I don't know about your cat. So I can't say. A 233 for Stellar and a 229 for Moester, though.
I like how Stellar's being popped up a little
pretty-
dialogue that was Big.
Pretty average. Uh-oh.
Yosh!
Both entering Weapons Bed.
Should have tried.
Weapons Bed can be a bit of a tight stage. At the start of the stage, there's a power-up called the Laser Blaster.
Yeah, it powers up the Vulcan cannon so you can break steel boxes.
But it's optional. They're not going for it. Which I can't really blame them, because I feel like it changes the fight against Tails, or the fights against Tails, due to the cannon's placement being slightly different. And unfortunate death by Moester. But he is now through it. Uh-oh. Ooh. I was giving him some trouble. Stellar going for satellite jump. A neat little strat. Gets him straight to the end without any hassles. And Moester is done with the worst, or never has to go through the most annoying part of the stage IMO in this run ever again. Unless something that ought not happen happens.
Like him
Stellar
getting
is
knocked off
entering
that
the-
pulley 3 times.
Stellar entering Tails 1. Pretty simple. You can basically just spam them. There are strats to do it faster than just
It helps to
pure spam,
strafe a bit, so
but-
you don't just. So it does help to strafe a bit because you can spam and just die.
Yeah, but he's a bit of a pushover, so even if you get the first hit, you can just spam, so without any issues, even casually. And now security hall.
Yosh! That was too close.
Oh no. Apparently, Moester has edited audio for the bosses.
Uh-oh.
He had Mirror Beast theme for, oh, it's a floor and also a ceiling. That's a decent piece. Kind of. This stage has a few pieces with either the same or similar hints, which makes it a bit of a pain to learn how to speedrun.
I'm in position, Doctor.
Plus with the safe gimmick, which I don't think Stellar had any safe pieces, so that's good for him. Well, it seems like Moester's not entirely sure where this piece is. I didn't manage to get the hint. But here we go. But Stellar is entering Flying Dog. Did not get the corkscrew kick at the start to get an early hit. Nor the Flying Dog manipulation to keep Doggo in the corner.
Okay, I'm calling it Doggo from now on too.
Oh, it's just a dog. Oh. Security hall's looking like it's a bit rough for Moester. And a 50 for Stellar in Flying Dog. That is a passable time for without the manip or the early hit. And White Jungle is a pretty straightforward stage. Skipping the first checkpoint though.
I just noticed Moester got to the second piece location but didn't have the safes unlocked.
Yep, Moester got 3 safe pieces and had to switch for 2 of them. That is most unfortunate.
What are you doing? Get going! Bring me the Chaos Emeralds now!
Well, technically, you didn't have to. Ooh. That was a spicy wall run from Stellar. Now, there's a thing called storage, because this game has a somersault and a spin dash button bound to the same thing. If you hold the button for the somersault, you get the hitbox or the hitbox for somersaulting before you spin dash, so you can hold it, walk through certain things. But more relevantly, there was that spring that he took to the vine section. Now, if you storage into that spring, it'll take you further into the stage, like slightly further, so you miss a spring that would otherwise knock you into the air a little bit.
I guess that saves around 5 to 10 seconds.
It's more like 2-3, but a decent Flying Dog for Moester as well. And it is the Faker cutscene for Stellar. Ooh.
Not bad, huh? I'm pretty strong, all right.
What do you mean, if only the commentators chat?
Yeah, I
We've
saw
gotta
that
focus
too.
on the
It
game.
confused me.
A 15-second Sonic Boom? Nothing to write home about, but not terrible. And I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut about that White Jungle section. Okay. But Route 280? Route 280 is a pretty straightforward stage, not too much to really talk about. I guess I should mention snaking. There is 2 speed caps to driving. One for if you're just normally driving, and the other if you use a boost. Or, alternatively, if you release A button for a bit and wiggle the control stick, you get into like this drift state, which puts you on the boost, which keeps you to the boost speed cap as opposed to the normal driving speed cap, so you go faster. Not going for that loop skip, can't say I blame. Now I did not notice if they got the checkpoint earlier.
Well, there's no checkpoints in Route 2A, so you must be talking about Moester.
Yes, I was. I mean, there's big flashing gates that say check.
Yeah, but you don't go back to them. You go back to the start.
Yeah, but you go to the point checker, or they reset your time though.
Yeah,
and I was
time
more
countdown.
just making a joke.
Oh, okay.
There are
And
points in the
Moester
stage
did not
like
get
that.
the first checkpoint.
That is. That's fine. Bolt Racer is skipping the air shoes, which allows you to light speed dash. Technically optional. Stellar is now sitting quite pretty with a lead. Unfortunate for Moester, but it really do be like that sometimes. It just happens. We all have rough days, and okay. So
Oh, ouch. I just saw Moester go for the loop skip and miss.
yeah, Moester.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, Moester has just finished. He lost about 2 minutes compared to the splits he has up on his stream. And Stellar just unlocked kart racing. A fun little minigame. I say fun. I don't actually like it when I had to do it for 180, but
Here we go.
Stellar is entering Skyrail, a quite short stage. Blink and you'll miss it. It'll take around 50
That wasn't so hard.
seconds to a minute. And Moester is entering everyone's favorite cutscene. Ooh,
Hey,
a
that's
bit of a
That blue hedgehog
bad
again.
death for Stellar.
I found you, Faker.
Faker. I think you're the
And
fake hedgehog around
a
here.
1384
You're comparing yourself to
Sonic
me?
1.
Huh. You're not
That's
even
actually
good
the
enough.
best
Words.
Moester's ever done on his splits that he's got
You
pulled
can't
up,
get
so
away this time. There's
congratulations to
only one
him.
real Sonic.
he actually got a few golds this time.
Bring it on.
Oh no.
No time to hang out with the likes of you.
Now this rail transition at the end of Skyrail is one of the hardest parts about it. But Stella did it perfectly fine and didn't jump over the goal ring or under the goal ring.
Wait for me!
Hit it dead on. I appreciate the initial D music for Route 280. I'm not sure.
Okay, I switched browsers again, and I think I finally got my lag down.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Be quiet. Just leave it to me.
Okay, still on Egg Golem, and showing off a bit. As he's just finished Egg Golem. Okay, Stellar with 2 quick pieces in mad space.
Yeah, decent. And Moester just finishing up, or 280?
Just finished.
Yep. That was a pretty good.
Shadow, they're in that blue float.
That was a pretty good mad space for Stellar.
Copy that.
I'll say.
In pursuit.
Not fantastic, but decent. Pretty good.
Well, if you saw my last race, it's fantastic.
I commentated your last race. I'm not noticing anything particularly bad about the Skyrail. Neither of them managed to make the jump up to the top of the church. And a solid Knuckles fight.
Yep.
Stellar
There
entering
goes Knuckles,
Cosmic Wall.
1692.
Here we go.
Anything can still happen with Final Chase to come, though.
I think they've practiced it decently. I think they both got it.
I feel like nobody's got the gravity tubes.
Ooh, a little bit of a costly mistake for Stellar there, but managed to salvage it. And it's quite early into the stage either way, so wouldn't be end of the world, but definitely suboptimal. A 25 second egg golem. Good, and Eggman spinning around doing his victory dance there. I'm not sure what triggers that. I think it's how you're acting at the end of the stage.
So
Alright,
moester onto mad space.
and Stellar is about to skip the Cosmic Wall Express, ideally. Looking good for the clip out, and is out of bounds. And will now proceed to fly to the end of the stage. Well, a crater piece for the first one is nice. I think a low place, so this stage, I should have mentioned it earlier, this stage has the gimmick where the first piece will be written backwards. The second hint will tell you to go the opposite direction, so if it's like at the bottom, it'll say the highest place. And that sort of a thing. And then the third hint will just say, don't do exactly what you gotta do.
Yeah, although there are a few clues that vary from that. But they all are opposite in some way.
There are a few sections, there are a few pieces that are bugged, but
It's gotta be close.
the ones who...
I got it!
Moester also got a pretty acceptable, mad space. And Stellar is still flying through space.
It's all too easy for me.
It's pizza time again.
Long time no see, treasure hunter. Did you find my
What?
That's a
emerald?
good one. Your emerald telling you is a waste of time.
Moester has a modded version of the game that
Oh
has
yeah,
certain-
I'm not on his stream. I'm sorry.
To me. I have no
And I had this. Actually, I had the stream muted so I wouldn't accidentally pick up the audio from it.
Yeah. Decent Rouge fight. Or that fight is against Rouge in Hero Story, but it's against Knuckles. In this one. And Stellar is almost done with Cosmic Wall. $229. I'd take that in an almost. It's
429.
yeah, 429. I'd definitely take a 229 Cosmic Wall. But Stellar just has one more stage left and two more bosses. Now, there is the more powerful cannon, but that doesn't actually change how much damage you do in boss fights, so... Ooh, that was a terrifying Cosmic Wall.
And Stiller just took a big hit from Tails.
Yeah. Ooh, Moester is taking the
invincibility
Cosmic Wall
frame saved him.
Express. And just a nice little on-rail section. So we get to see the rest of this stage, which I I'm kind of happy about, because the stage in and of itself is quite fun, but the ability to fly over most of it is just too enticing. I believe it's technically faster to not fly over all of it, but like you have to have like optimal movement, and it's only like a few frames slower. So basically there's no real reason not to fly to the end of the stage.
Does it? You do have to know where the death planes are, though, don't you?
Yeah, but the flight to the end is pretty safe. It does not. It's not like you have to change directions often, and there's a lot of visual cues, so you can just say, you can just basically hold a correct direction and you'll be fine. Not
Okay,
going
I'll put
for
it first on my tricks to learn list after I get to where I can just do a run without game overing 3 times. I mean, not many tricks in this game save as much time as just not dying.
Yeah, definitely when you're first starting out, just learning a consistent way is a lot better than learning the fastest way.
Ooh, and I just saw what you went ooh about. That chaos, ow.
I just go over the top of this section. It's not.
I try to, but every so often I screw up and hit the rail anyway, so.
I thought that was about to be another death. Stellar. My poor little heart can't take too much.
Oh, yeah, under the side of that platform. I don't think he was trying to do that.
And we get to see Cosmic Wall Express the Redux. And Stellar is just making his way right to the end of the stage. Going all the way to the top and then just holding forward and slightly right to just completely skip that final tube. Technically you could launch to below it and that's faster, but it's a lot less safe. And a 229, or 255, I don't know where I got 229 from, but a 255, definitely a respectable final chase, and Stellar is now entering, whatever
Sonic
that
2.
stage is, Sonic 2, yeah. Now, this fight is fairly, it's a little harder as Shadow than as Sonic, but otherwise, they're both pretty easy once you learn it. It's just the rhythm, but since you don't have like the air shoes or the bounce bracelet, the backups are a little less non-existent, and a 44-15 for Stellar.
What have you done to Sonic? I'll never forgive you for this.
Nice final hit on Stellar, having to use the intended strat for the last hit, but
Wait, that's the intended strat? For me, the intended strat was to use to line Sonic or Shadow up with a line of rings and just use the airspeed shoes.
that's what I thought it was for a while as well. But then I noticed Omochow says wait for an opening or something. So you're supposed to wait for him to use his attack and stop, and that leaves him defenseless.
Huh. But congratulations to Stellar and Moester just now entering Final Chase. a small little death at the beginning, but not anything too major. And I think Moester just wants to finish this out now. Now I want to double check something. Oops. Congratulations to Stellar. I'm not sure if this is a personal best for him. It is a personal best real time, but I'm not sure about in-game time. But it is a significant... Oh, I think that's comparing against... Oh, he was comparing against, using race timing, which, if you don't know, LiveSplit has a speedrun's live integration, so it can take a speedrun's live race and you can like match your splits up so that instead of like a PB comparison, it'll compare against the other races.
Oh, Moester with a nice skip there. I've tried to find a way to skip that and never managed it.
I was not paying attention. Because I was checking Stellar's time real quick.
That bit where you have the two horizontal tubes and then the one going up, and then you go some other stuff, and then there's a platform down low.
Yeah, that's not too hard to skip. You just kind of jump.
But you jump from the tubes, it looks like?
Yeah, you jump from the horizontal tube and...
Okay, I'd been trying to spin dash to get there and it had not been working. Only in practice runs, of course.
I'm not sure if hover frames can help you with that, however... Moester taken a slightly different path than Stellar at this section. Technically, this section is skippable, but...
It does have that nice checkpoint at the end.
The skip is... Ooh, that was a bit scary. The skip is... not something most runners learn until they're a lot further time-wise, I guess, if that makes sense. It is more a...
It's one of the layer skips to learn.
Typically. But then there's always the occasional runner who will learn the dumb skips first.
Of course.
I'm usually tempted with those because they look cooler most of the time. And that's why any of us speedruns, right? To look cool when we play the games.
Here we go.
Also, a pretty solid final chase, excluding the deaths.
Maybe I didn't try.
Also,
hard
speaking of dumb skips, I completely forgot to mention sandwalking, which they didn't do in Sand Ocean. I was going into it about to say I'm sure they're not going to go for that. Looks like Stellar is just doing some dry lagoons while he waits. Moester getting a good first 2 hits. First 3. A very clean fight.
I told you, I'm the ultimate.
Good job to both of them. I have been joined by Stellar.
Hello.
So, how do you feel about that run?
Well, the early game was pretty trash, but the late game turned out okay. I had sweet RNG on Security Hall, which was really nice.
Yeah, I noticed that. No
Yeah,
safe
Moester had
pieces.
pretty awful RNG there.
Speaking of
Brutal.
safe RNG,
Oh no, what was your Security Hall, Moester?
awful.
Oh,
It was
I
a
got-
blue safe piece, then a red safe piece, then a
No,
blue
it was a red
safe
safe piece first. I wouldn't have minded the blue safe piece first, but it was like it was even worse than the first race, which is I never thought was possible, but there we go.
so are you telling me you got 3 blue safe or 3 safe pieces?
No, I got I forget what the first piece was, but it was I forget what it was. It air conditioner? I'm not.
I think it might have been the 2 colored box, or was that Stellar?
I got 2 colored container. I actually remember that one because in a run this morning, I got that same 2 colored container, and it was one that I literally had never ever found. And I'd ask people, and they were like, "I don't know what one it was. 2 colored container piece one can be like 8 different places." But then I found out that it could be up by the rocket that breaks the gates, and I was like, "Oh, well, this was useful. I'm glad I found this out this morning."
Yeah. The other, there's a similar piece to that messed me up for a while.
Oh, fire alarm.
No,
Ooh.
that's my alarm clock. I was not expecting to be up this early. But I am, so I commentated the race, and
Nice.
Appreciate it.
I've already had my morning nap after the cat woke me at 2 in the morning.
Oof. But yeah, sorry I didn't make the race closer than it was. That
I was
Security
shaking.
Hall RNG actually just tilted the living hell out of me.
For sure.
I could imagine your white jungle to also tilt you quite a bit.
Yeah, so people told me like, oh, you should use the stick at the beginning of White Jungle, and then I did, and then the camera went funky, and I saved it the first time, but I died later on.
Yeah, that stick is jank. I know even Dage doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was what's it called? I was actually shaking after, I don't remember what split it was, but it was like Egg Quarters or Lost Colony. You were only a second behind me, and I was super nervous.
Yeah, I was. Well,
Yeah.
I've still got the. So yeah, Egg Quarters I was 2 seconds behind. Lost Colony 1 second behind, and then Weapons Bed I died.
Yeah, I had a really good weapons bed. It was like a 130, like a low 130, and it would have been higher if I didn't get hit by something.
Yeah, so I lost 40 seconds in Weapons Bed.
Yeah.
And the old Security Hall happened.
Yeah.
What were your in-game times if you've checked?
Oh, I actually haven't yet.
Oh, I still have mine. For which? Oh wait, there we go.
33:48.
Give me.
Nice.
That's a pretty solid time. You bullied my PB.
For which one?
Just the whole run.
Yeah.
Oh, 38:11.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
still
not
sub
bad.
40.
I guess we'll take that.
You
I
got the
certainly
sub
would, yeah.
50 too, so your in-game time counts.
true.
49.50. Barely, barely.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Alright, so they have been Stellar and Moester. We have been your commentators, Conkles to the Max and Simar. Thank you all so very much for watching, and then join us for the next race in the tournament. I'm not sure which speed gaming it'll be on, but it'll be ID Geek versus Mr. Turtellini
That'll be a good one.
at 7 p.m. EST, or EDT rather, August 11th. So, tomorrow.
That's going to be a
And-
really good one. I recommend you watch that. That's going to be one of the, depending on how much Geeks practice, that might be one of the closest matches of the tournament.
For sure.
Alright, so we're signing out, and also enjoy the other speed gaming content that is going on right now. I think there's this link to the Fast Randomizer daily race, according to Speed Gaming. So, goodbye,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.